how to add 15 to 20K as a loan officer in the next 90 days without paid ads, paying for Zillow, paying for realtors, or sleazy sales tactics. I want to congratulate you for taking a huge step in your growth. Before we share this exploration on our exciting world of growth, I just want to say two things. First, I'm grateful for the attention you're going to find yourself more and more enjoying. Also, in the time that we have, I will share with you dynamite material you can use right away. But obviously, I can't share with you the full range of what you really want to learn. So keep that in mind. Let's get started. So add multiple six figures. This is not for you if you believe the diet pill is the answer to all your problems. You're searching for that one software gimmick trick, leaves you frustrated, burning through money. And here's the worst thing of all. It really destroys trust in yourself. So you don't think the next thing works. You don't think you can do it. And then you just don't do anything, right? You don't take any action. Your client review, your process is unlike any other thing she's ever seen in her life. Genesis, it's kind of what we do. All right. So perfect fit. If you stuck around, I want you to congratulate yourself because you are a growth elite-minded loan officer. Because most loan officers, they hear it's not one little trick. They're not going to share. They aren't going to stick around, right? But you are the exception. As one of my mentors shared with me, you got to stop and completely focus on what's important. You're never going to get any better results unless you just let go. Now, with me, this was a turning point to be totally open to new concepts to quickly act now. Okay, you'll discover 4 simple shifts to quickly add multiple six figures to your income. The clarity required, clarity is key, to add multiple six figures to your income quickly and predictably. The number one key in your marketing piece that will separate you from every other loan officer in your area, and how to completely transform the way you sell so you can quickly add 13 referral partners in just 12 weeks. Here's the key. Even if you're not a naturally gifted sales pro. So if you don't think you're just naturally gifted sales pro, you can't do it. That's just not true. It's just a story we tell ourselves. So here's the reality of what's going on right now. The old reality, maybe it's going on with you. Average loan officers are doing 18 to 25 loans per year, upper half 35 to 40. And here's the cold hard facts here is that 90% will see a decrease in their business this year. However, the top 10% will thrive in this market. So you may be on here and you're in the top 10%. Congratulate yourself. That's amazing. Let's supercharge that and get in the top 5 and 1%. You may be in that lower half. Well, let's start taking change now so it doesn't feel like, you're just hanging on. All right, so there's 3 fears that will stop you from hitting your goals. So I want you to stop for a second and think about this. We all know fear of failure, but not often enough, people are not talking about fear of winning because that's a real fear that people have. If I win, if I do better, if I do more loans, that's going to equal stress, overwhelm. When in fact, you grow a true business, it's not that way at all. We'll go through that. The fear of moving now. I don't know if anybody on here, have you ever went through the marshmallow effect? Or went through that or seen that demonstration. They went through the marshmallow effect years ago. We did this experiment and I would encourage you to look it up. But basically, the future self, what would your future self tell you of acting now, of taking the steps you need now to grow your business? What would your future self tell you to do? Will they tell you to just keep on staying where you're at? Or they say, hey, you need to go ahead and take some action because I want to live a better life in the future as well. Now, there's 2 reasons why you'll override these fears. We take actions for 2 reasons: inspiration and desperation. So you may be on here today, you're doing well, and you're like, hey, listen, I'm doing well, but I just want to do more. That's amazing. Congratulations. You should feel really good about yourself because you are an exception. You're doing well and you want to continue to do even better. You want to be on that beach. You want to live the best life. You want to give back, or you're in desperation right now. I'm not doing enough loans. I'm not making enough money. I don't know if I can survive. I did 5 loans a month last year. Now I'm doing 3 or 2. I'm struggling. Desperation can be an amazing catalyst for you to walk through the fears and go ahead and invest in yourself now and start doing the things you need to grow. We all, pain is a great thing, right? If we didn't have pain, then we would die much younger, right? We'd do stupid stuff, pain would happen, and we would die. Your ancestors would have died a lot earlier. You would not have been born. So that's a real human thing. We just want to move from desperation to move into inspiration. The trap is apathy, right? It's not that bad. I'll just kind of do what I keep doing. I've been doing this for X amount of years. I'm okay. I'll kind of just mud through it until we end up going to desperation, right? So let's start taking action now. And I would imagine most of you in here, or you're probably not, into apathy. Congratulations. You're starting to take action for inspiration or desperation. Good for you. So who's ready to take action? Who's ready to gain the clarity required to predictably grow? Who's ready for some amazing sales and marketing shifts to be seen completely different in your market? So let me ask you this. Do you ever find yourself wondering if this career is right for you? Emotionally drained, trying to get your next deal or partnership? Having decent months followed by months where you can barely pay the bills? Or you're doing well right now, but you find yourself thinking, man, I could never put down my phone. I can never go on vacations. You ever find yourself feeling that way? Let's start making changes now to run a profitable business that funds your life, that funds your freedom. Another client review here. We'll just keep going because I got a lot to go through. 3 stages of business. This is where we start gaining some clarity, where we need to go, what we need to do, what we need to focus on. Big reason we can have these negative feelings is because we lack clarity. Cash flow stage is our stage number 1. This is 0 to 8 loans a month. It's really critical that we identify where we are in the stages of business so we can gain the clarity we need and work on the steps required for us to start growing. In this stage, it can feel like survival mode, right? Anybody feel like that if they're in this zone? Even if you're in the upper zone of 7, for example, you feel like, oh man, 3 loans fall out and then these 3 are dicey. Gosh, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills like I want. I'm not going to be able to go on vacation. It can still feel like survival mode for a lot of people, right? It can feel like survival mode to you. In cash flow stage, the big 4 keys to level up. So it's really vital that we know what we need to work on. Number 1, energy/intention. Number 2, mindset. Number 3, exposure. And number 4 is sales skills. So we'll have a big focus on all of these 4 in this webinar and give you some actionable steps to start moving the needle. Okay, leverage stage, 9 to 14 loans a month. This is where stuff gets a little better, right? You're making some money, you're having some cash flow. Things are feeling a little bit better. But there's a big mistake that will keep you from going to leverage, to scale stage is next, is we hire an assistant and think that's leverage, when in fact, that won't truly allow us to move to stage 3 and have all the freedoms that we want, because assistants assist. Centerpieces run your business and you can build your team around. You're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, they're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur just wants to run your business. They don't want to be that entrepreneur. But this is critical for your stage 3 to set up. So if you want to really do those 15 loans plus a month, you want to have freedom, you want to go on vacations, you want to put down your phone, you want to feel all enjoyment, then you're going to want to hire a centerpiece, and we go through that, and we definitely train that in Hires Coaching. Okay, Scale stage is 15 loans plus a month. This is where all the fun begins. I want you to ask yourself, when I said it was fun, what popped up in your mind? Was it negative thoughts? If it was, you may be, like we talked about before, fear of winning. Oh my gosh, what if I do this? It's going to be all these negative emotions. It's going to be stress, overwhelm. But I want you to imagine for a moment, you can go on the vacations you want. You can go to your favorite resorts. You can have these freedoms. You're going to take a picture of your family and suddenly you realize that you haven't seen your phone all day because it's been on the nightstand. That's what running a real business is. And it is out there for you. Even if you're thinking, man, I'm nowhere near that. Well, you can get there quicker than you think. I promise you, but you are required to get outside of your conceptual zone, not just your comfort zone, but the concepts required, the skill sets required for you to grow now. Another client review, even one of our clients' wives said he was a better man. That's amazing. That's because he was having freedom of choice. He's going to vacations. He's putting down his phone. Okay, how do you feel? How do you feel right now when you think about going to scale stage and running a real business? Is that where you want to go? Does that feel good? It should. Okay, so let's go through energy and tension. It can be tempting for us to just gloss over this. And you may be in the background right now going, oh man, let's get to the sales and marketing. We're going to go through that. Some real shifts you can have. However, setting up sales and marketing, even if you think it doesn't bleed through, it will bleed through if you do not have the energy and tension correct. It will bleed through in your sales. It will bleed through in your marketing. So you always want to be working on energy and tension. How am I showing up? Else all the scripts, all the concepts will not work. A hero on a mission. Are you a hero on a mission? So I'm not going to belabor this too much, but I would encourage you on this hero on a mission is go through this. And if you stick around to the end, we will have this modules, all these modules, so you can actually download it and fill it out. But don't pencil whip this. This is a warning to you that it will be emotional. It should be emotional. Just ask yourself, what age do I want to live? How many years do I have left if I live to my desired age? And how do I want my family and friends to think about me? Write your ultimate obituary. That can be emotional, but work your way back. So it becomes not, I just need 5 more loans a month. How do you want to set up your life that funds the freedom to be the best version of yourself, to write your ultimate obituary? Another client review here. We're going to keep going. So like I said, we got a lot to cover here. Mindset is something that is often overused and people just kind of gloss over it anymore. But what mindset really is just a cluster of beliefs. That's it. It's a cluster of beliefs. And 95% of that is our unconscious mind. So how we train our unconscious mind, it will develop patterns and shortcuts that either propel us or shrink us. Choose it wisely how you speak to your unconscious mind. And we talk a lot of that into neuroscience in our program. Okay. So think about this, and this is a huge one for you to do. I tell you, do this for the next 7 days. I did this for 2 weeks straight, and it was amazing. I got so much self-development out of this. So ask yourself this question. If you woke up tomorrow and all your self-limiting beliefs, habits, and attitudes were suddenly gone, how would you know? How would it make a difference to you? How would it make a difference to your loved ones? And how would it make a difference to the world? Again, you'll get these modules at the end if you stick around, and I would highly encourage you to do that for a week straight. you will be amazed at how much difference you feel internally and how much clarity comes out of this. And all the self-limiting beliefs you don't know that's holding you back, you'll suddenly realize what is there and how much you can grow once you start working on those. Okay, so 12-week goals, 90-day burn. I want you to think about this. What do you want to do in the next 12 weeks? How many deals do you want to do? We talk about the 90-day burn. So what you're doing in these 12 weeks, next 12 weeks will show up in the 12 weeks, but really will culminate big time in the month after. So the month after following the 12 weeks, imagine your self-limiting beliefs are gone. You're getting the marketing message in there. You're getting the sales dial in. You're doing all the right things. You're getting clarity. How many loans do you want to close in that following month? Is it 10 loans a month, 15 loans a month? And then how much money will you make in that 1 month following? And then I will average how many hours a week. And then you're looking at yourself 10 feet away after accomplishing your goals. Who do you see? This is very important because transformative change doesn't mean you're just going to kind of getting better in sales and marketing. You have to change who you are. It's a different version, better version of yourself. So who do you have to become? You have to be more confident. You have to be a better family person. You have to be, who do you have to be? And who do you see? And really, where are you at? Okay, another client review here. Dante went from 5 loans to 17 loans a month, really in about a 4 or 5 month period under my tutelage. Amazing dude. Another loan officer went from brand new to 10 loans a month in their 3rd month, and then 20 loans a month in their 6th month. Who the heck did that? Well, there I am with my daughter. She's my pride and joy. I've been helping loan officers for really about 6 months after I came into the game, because I was on stage in front of 300 loan officers asking me how in the heck I was doing so many loans so quickly. And I started helping people on the side, and then opened up my coaching officially in January of 2020. So going on 3 years now, and helping folks like yourself grow their business predictably, quickly now. My big turning point in life was Raspberry Jam. So years ago, I was, moving through the power ranks. I actually was ranked number 1 in my weight class in the world at one point. And I went to the store because I didn't have much food. And I went there and I needed peanut butter and jelly, right? I need a PB&J just to sustain myself. So I got my peanut butter, I got a loaf of bread, and I went over to get the jelly. And I looked at Raspberry Jam, and it was $2.97. And I reached in my pocket and I had $27 to last me a week. And grape jam was 97 cents. So I got the grape jam. And that moment was a defining moment for me, kind of like you probably have. So imagine yourself, you have this defining moment. Maybe it's right now. Maybe you had in the last few weeks, you had one of those defining moments, or maybe you're on here because you had a defining moment yesterday. You're like, I got to make a change. I'm going to jump on this webinar. I got to change now. And I had that defining moment where I knew I need to make a change. I need to become a different person, and I need to invest in myself. And I started investing in myself heavily. And through that process, gave me a love for helping other people grow their business. And that's why I do what I do. So my bigger mission is to help loan officers like yourself grow, to hold their hand, tell them what to do, have really peel the onion back and go into the neural identity of why people do what they do, helping them sell differently, helping them market differently, helping them supercharge their life and their dreams in a different way and become somebody different. And if that's somebody that you want to become, you want to do more loans while just becoming a different version of yourself, not just somebody telling you, Nike, just do it. you want that real transformative change, that's where I come involved. So if that sounds like something the results you want now in your business, you can go ahead and schedule a consultation call with me. This is not the end of it. In this presentation, we've got a lot more to go in the sales and marketing. But if you want to go ahead, we're going to have limited spaces for this. I'm actually opening up for I'm going to open it up for 8 people. There's a lot of people on here to jump on this. There'll be special offers for just this webinar. Special pricing and bonuses. Okay, so let's go into exposure. You're not Nike or Coke. You're not Nike or Coke, but that's great news. We're going to talk about that. This is getting into your marketing. So has anyone ever tried to push branding course on you? Listen, I've been told that, and it was like branding, bro, brand. And I remember it was such a big thing a few years ago, really pushed. And there was real estate agents that were coming out with these brands that were just ridiculous. Honestly, they just looked clownish. And they thought this was going to be the thing. But, brand is built over time, and brand is built by getting a community that loves you. You're not Nike or Coke. You cannot spend all this money to build this huge brand. But here's the great news is that if you don't have a huge brand, you can have a marketing mechanism that is getting you into sales conversations, making you tons of money. In fact, I've had clients where they've had very little following, very little social media presence, and be able to get in direct response marketing and get into sales conversations far quicker than the ones that have this big following, because the ones with big following, they think they're Nike or Coke. And they think this big brand, and I've got all these followers. Yeah, but what is it doing? If you just want to feel good about yourself because I got a big following, cool. But if you want to actually use it to make money, to build a real business, you're required to do something different. So the key is direct response marketing, right? You must have call to actions. I help not just loan officers, I help business professional entrepreneurs run their business. And I had to, I'm in this group too. I was helping and building their business. And they would have these amazing posts, right? It's just amazing posts. And at the end of it, you didn't know where to go. You didn't know what to do. There was no call to action. And so it left the reader to think, okay, this is cool, but what do I do next? Or, hey, I'm just going to click off this. So you can have all this great content, but if you don't have a real good, strong call to action, and the messaging leads up to that, it's not going to work. It's not going to make you money. It's not going to get you in sales conversations. It's not going to get you the leverage you need. So I want to introduce you to your number one currency in marketing, sales, and influence. And without this, you will not get anywhere with your marketing, sales, and influence. Now, why the heck do I have a risque woman up here? I'm not telling you to put risque women or men or anything on your marketing, but it does illustrate a point. Now, what did you do when you're sitting there? You say, what the heck? All of a sudden I was kind of tuning out here. This come up, you popped your head up. Your number one currency in sales, marketing, and influence is focus. That is your number one currency. If you do not create focus and get content where clients and referral partners stop and find themselves wanting to read on, it won't matter. And this all happens within 1 to 2 seconds. We don't have an attention deficit disorder. We have a focus deficit disorder in this country. There's too much stuff fighting for our focus. And when we don't create the focus off the bat, then we will not win. And when we're talking about BIPs and insider language, by the way, is horrible. We got to know like who we're targeting. Are we targeting end clients with this thing? Well, guess what? They don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's just one example, but obviously you have to create the focus and attention and what is a reader person supposed to do next? And if you can create the focus, and then the key, next key is you are creating this curiosity that is creating focus throughout your message. So you have to create the focus and you have to hold the focus. And it happens with one to 2 seconds off the bat. Okay, so I want to introduce you to something you start using right now. This is one of the things we do right now. We use it in our trainings. There's several others, but this can start changing the way you your marketing messages are on your. It could be your post. It could be through your email marketing, whatever it be, even in your video messages. It's PASS. Problem, agitate, solves. Humans are hardwired to quickly focus for 3 reasons. So think about this. We talked about currency, novelty, pain or / potential pain, and stories. Those are the 3 reasons why people will go, oh, I got to stop. So novelty, it's like your thing has to be new. If you're talking to a real estate agent, you have to be talking novelty, right? It has to be different. It has to already spark focus, attention. If you're talking to end clients, hey, this sounds different. I'm going to stop. What is going on? Pain or potential pain. We're getting into pain. We're agitating that pain. Then people will stop, focus. You'll create curiosity, and they want to see how you're solving that problem. So instead of saying, hey, I sold another one, or I just closed another one, how about we create a problem, agitate, solve out of that? Like what happened in the process of this client going through this ordeal, which is trying to buy a home in the crazy market that we're in? What was that pain associated with that? Then how can we agitate it? And then how do we solve that? We're the guide to that. And stories are, we should always be opening up story loops. We create a story loop. Our brain is hardwired to try to close that story. How does it end? Right? That's why we watch movies, right? That's why we stick around to the end. How even horrible movies sometimes. You ever watch a horrible movie? Like, gosh, I'm gonna just keep watching it. Like, got to see the ending, because it created at least a story loop that we want closed. So questions to ask yourself before you send out marketing pieces or posts is, will this create focus in the first few seconds? So ask yourself, this is you can start to already implement this now, like your next post, literally. Does this create focus in the first few seconds? Am I using PASS method? And is there a way I can combine PASS into a story? I actually have a little demo here I wrote in about a minute, and you can get that later, like I said, if you stick around to the end. But I wrote it so quickly simply because I want to demonstrate how easy it is to do once you start learning those skills. Okay, so sales skills. Let's go into the sales portion of this. Here's the cold hard facts. If you're not averaging 15 loans a month or more, you have a sales problem. And if that stings, that's a good thing. Remember, pain, that's okay. Get into some pain. Now we're going to move to action. And what are we going to do about the sales problem? And it is my sincere wish you truly decide to be great in this moment and start discovering these sales skills to quickly supercharge your sales. So I want you to think, how much money would I make per year if I closed 15 loans a month? So think about that. So write that down. Write down, how much would you make per year if you closed 15 loans a month? And what did you make the last 12 months? And what is your gap? So if it's 15 loans a month, it's 600 grand a year, for example, and you made 100 grand a year, your gap is 500 grand a year. Is it worth investing in the skills, the clarity, the mindset, the marketing, the sales that are really going to supercharge the way you can show up and the way you can print money? And that's what we teach at Hires Coaching is the NIST, Neuro Identity Selling System. So you can do these things quickly and predictably, and you can carry this with you anywhere. The key is, and just the amazing part of this is once you learn these skills, you can sell in the top 1% in anything that you do. And when you run a team, you can influence them at a higher level, which is amazing. Okay. So here's another client review. He had some clarity with me there. Andy does well. He's amazing. I'm going to keep moving because we've got still a lot to cover here and help you start winning now. Okay. Referral targets. Here's where everybody gets off, especially in the lead gen and how they're going to have conversations and how they're going to predictably win, is everybody thinks their funnel needs to look like this, 1,000 targets. And a lot of times it nets 0 or very few people. And we talked about that, not having to have a big audience. And especially in the loan game, you don't have to have this huge target list. Like now you can put a bigger target list for some marketing messages and all that. And we're not going to go through that here, but I want to demonstrate a point here that you may be missing that is holding you back, which is you don't need this huge list. You need the right list. You need the right avatar. We teach going into the avatar, who's the person that you're speaking to, you want to speak to, who's a referral partners that you want, what their identity is, what their fears are, what their desires are, all the way to identity based, so we can identify who we really want and how we can influence them and how we can start scaling our business now predictably and easily. So 35 targets netting 13 partnerships. When you can dial in your messages and really be succinct about what you're saying, how you're targeting, how you're speaking to them, and the fears and the identity, you can predictably funnel in way more partners on a smaller target list. So here's a funnel story. John, one of our clients, came to me and he was just so freaking excited. He went and did one of our done for you events. We have done for you marketing material that you can go and present, and it's really high level. And he was just so excited, and he got in front of like 42 agents and just called me. He's like, "Oh man, this is so awesome. I got in front of 42 agents, and I'm just excited for the next one." And we identified, I said, "How many have you done before we got together?" And he's like, around 20 of these events over the course of 2 years. And there's about 400 agents, like different agents total in about 2 years in these events that showed up. And he delivered high level stuff to them, like real value. And when I asked him, how many are sending you business out of those 400? And he said 5. And of course I was like, you got a broken funnel. You got a broken funnel, John. Your funnel is broken. So he was kind of confused about that. But then when we talked to him, I said, okay, your funnel's broken. And then after we strategically dialed in, to his ideal referral partners, who they were and their identity, and just really got succinct about who we want to target. 35 netted him 13 new partnerships in 12 weeks, sending in business. So 400 netted him 5, 35 netted him 13 in 12 weeks. Pretty good, right? So then the next 12 weeks, he wants to target different ones, or, ones that really fit in his model, he can do so. But he no longer had a broken funnel. He had a funnel that worked, that was making him profitable income, and not run around chasing and thinking, hey, I got to add more value. Have you ever found yourself, I got to add more value to these partnerships? I got to keep adding value. I can't ask, I can't do this. Well, you got a broken funnel and you got a broken sales system. And it's good that we can identify that, because now we can start working on it. You should be absolutely excited about your weaknesses. Like, don't run away from them. Be excited, because when you can identify your weaknesses, we know once we get better at those weaknesses, how much potential we have for growth. So how amazing is that, to think, I know I can identify these things. I know if I get the help that I need, I can quickly grow. That's an amazing thing. So choose your funnel wisely. So are you excited? This is going to be a huge shift, a major sales shift in the way that you show up. Are you excited to learn about the major sales shift? Counter to what everybody else is saying. We're going to go through the counter, and then we're going to go through like what you need to do and specifically how you can even word something. So a script to write for you. Good stuff. So here it is. The always be closing is horrible. Anybody saying the mantra always be closing, you should absolutely believe them, because they're closing off partnerships and conversations. We should always be opening, right? Opening the conversation, having real dialogue. If you feel sleazy and salesy, it's probably because you've been taught always be closing, keep hardcore closing, and just keep going after that sale, and just it's a numbers game and all that stuff. When you're not working on conversion and opening up conversations and partnerships where you can predictably and quickly influence at a higher level. All right, another client review. She was actually, Amanda here was having, that same kind of thing where she was launching her career and she was having this, real angst about making the calls and having the conversations. She's able to confidently reach out and ask for business without hesitation. She felt before, because she feels good. She doesn't feel sleazy. That's the way she felt before. So when we sell correctly, we can have the conversations we need to and feel better about it. All right. So are you ready to quickly and powerfully change the way you sell? This is going to be huge. I want you to concrete this in your mind, because this can change damn near everything for you. And it's changed clients' way of thinking when they really take this home. If you gloss over this and you don't truly understand the power of this, you're going to lose out. And it's likely the reason why you're not selling the way you need to. So imagine for a moment a prospective realtor asks you talk to a realtor or you reach out to a realtor and they say, hey, why should I use you as my lender? So I want you to think about what the answer would be if you ask that question. If somebody asks you that question, would it be your products, terms, services, all that? Would it be how great you are? Let me ask you this. If 10 different loan officers down the street from you, I were to ask that same question, the realtor was asked that same question, would their answer be similar? Would they say products, terms, services? Oh my gosh, they're freaking, I'm phenomenal, all this stuff. Would they? 100%. So we are not really influencing a high level at this point, right? Because we're sounding like everybody else. And we talk about focus, right? We talk about number one currency is focus. Now we're losing all focus when we are just saying what everybody else is saying. So here's what we're going to say. Here's what's going to naturally change your law of attraction in this next one. It's going to naturally change the way you sell. And we have 4 steps. Not 4 steps, we have multiple steps, but the first 4 steps in our perfect meeting changes freaking everything. This is like a sliver of a sliver of a sliver of like one of the frameworks in this, but it changes everything and makes people massive amounts of money. But this is one of the keys to start opening up the conceptual zone to having different conversations and creating focus. So I want you to tune in, get ready for it. So right now, someone asks you that, why should you use you as a lender? Here's what you're going to say. I don't know if you should. Here's a Friday reference. By the way, if you hang around me and you get in the program, you're going to hear movie references. That's right. That's part of the bonus package. Friday, I love Friday. Is this response and mindset different from your competitor? Hell yes, it is. I want you to think about all the layers. They don't just look at it surface level. I want you to look at all the layers. By the way, I've helped entrepreneurs. We've done it in our messaging, and with loan officers across the country. And when they change this part and they really take this home, it changes a ton for their business, because we think we have to prove ourselves, right? We're going to this real estate agent meeting, we got to prove ourselves, when in fact, we should be going there disqualifying and seeing if we're disqualifying them. And I don't know if you should. It should be the start of that. Somebody asked you that, I don't know if you should. If anybody reaches out to me and is like, hey, why should I use you as a in a coaching program? I don't know if you should. And quite frankly, I don't know if anybody on here should. But if we jump on a call, and I know you're going to be coachable and you're going to be decisive, you're going to be, you're going to have this great attitude, you're going to get outside your conception zone, you're going to be someone that is wanting to actively grow, then probably we're going to be a fit. But I don't know that before I've talked to you. How do I know? You could have the worst attitude in the world. I ain't coaching that. Say, see ya. And that's the same thing you should be with your real estate agents, right? But this changes everything, because our brains are hardwired to look for shortcuts. So when it comes with scripts. So when someone says this, it means that. So if you are saying what everybody else is saying, attention is lost, focus is lost. And then when we can say this, what it does is, here's the key. It's a pattern interrupt. We always are looking for pattern interrupts, whether it's with our sales, our marketing, our influence. We're looking for pattern interrupts, for people to stop and pause and suddenly be open to the next thing you say. If that does not happen, you lose sales, you lose influence, and you make less money, right? And you have skinny kids. You don't have a nice kid like this, right? It's getting his baby formula. All right, so here is a way we can also supercharge this. I'm going to give you some, again, sliver of sliver, what we kind of teach in here, with our NIS, Neural Identity Selling System. But I want to give you some sales NLP in here that's going to really supercharge the way you can deliver this. So here's one you can use. So it could be as simple as, I don't know if you should, slight pause. Perhaps if I knew a little more about you and your situation, we may naturally discover that together. So this is elegance and simplicity. Here's the key. When you're speaking with words that are in everyday language, and you can use it strategically with language patterns, you can win. So here's where it is. So I want you to notice what we have. We is an implied relationship word. I bet you're probably using a lot of I's when you should be using we, because that's implied relationship word, meaning that you're in a relationship. Even if you're not in a relationship, it's already an implication that starts that influence. Now, the next thing we have is may, which is neutral, because I'm not saying we will, but I'm still neutral enough to not be a know-it-all, to say, well, we'll discover that together. Got to be a may, got to be a might, because this is neutral language. The next thing in this is naturally, which is a presupposition, which supercharges the next word. We may naturally discover that together. Discover is a trance word. Discover, our mind goes somewhere else, and it's a language pattern that's an avalanche in this, together. So when they hear this, they're going to register as, they don't need me. And their frame, they won't think their frame, but your frame is absorbing their frame, which is huge. And we teach a lot of frames, because your frame has to be more clear and concise than theirs. It has to absorb the other person's frame. And this absorbs the other person's frame. When you do the opposite, you start telling all the stuff you do, they register that you need them to be successful. And then their frame absorbs yours. Now all you're doing is trying to prove yourself, and they're not going to listen to you. So a lot of people, and here's the word that you need to stricken from your marketing messages and your sales. It's an SH, and it's 4 letters. And it's not a cuss word, but it is kind of, and that's show. Change that to share. Share is implied relationship word. Show is something you do to someone. Inside our walls, we quickly help loan officers powerfully influence so they can rapidly increase their sales and conversions. The key is naturally influencing with language patterns that are hidden in everyday language. Your challenge after learning these skills won't be that you're not getting sales. It will be holding back the laughter when you're easily influencing others, overcoming objections, and getting sales you normally would have lost. Would that be with price objections, with rate objections? Would it be with sales conversion in general? You will start converting at a much higher level with everyday language, but in amazing language patterns. Are you coachable? Are you positive? Are you decisive? And are you willing to get out of your conceptual zone? Not just your comfort zone, but your conceptual zone, which is much more important in our walls, because you learn new concepts that are different. You may be doing something that's really good, but are you open to new concepts that'll supercharge that and make you better? It's okay to get outside your comfort zone. We definitely encourage that. But the conceptual zone, because we're doing things different, we're speaking differently, we're marketing differently. And if you want to do the same old lame-o, then that's not going to be, you're not going to be a client that is going to get the supercharged sales and marketing that you really need. All right, so I'm going to invite you in to you can schedule a call with me, and we will decide together whether it's a good fit to supercharge your business. Here's the value stack: a 24/7 access to our members library. It's loaded with modules that include high-level sales and marketing strategies, copywriting, sales influence and mastery, which is our NIS, neural identity selling. By the way, you can identify who you're speaking to behind a mask within a couple minutes with our training, so you can influence a higher level and you get less people shopping you for rates, etc. Psychology wins, action plans to know exactly what to do every day, done for you marketing materials, access to me to customize your program and to supercharge your sales, reduce your hours, one group session per week led by me, 2 breakthrough sessions per month with one of our high impact coaches, our exclusive monthly realtor playbooks loaded with sales and marketing articles, help you make more appointments, add value, and win partnerships. Bonus for this webinar only, you will get a reduced investment for your customized program, a qualified list of at least 1,000 agents doing 8 or more buyer sides in the last 12 months. That will include production numbers, phone number, and email addresses. Also, it will include your very own virtual assistant calling your behalf for 2 hours a day, setting realtor appointments for 3 months, or carrying out our marketing strategy. We train them so you can plug and play. So the link should be in the chat that you can go ahead and schedule your call. And here it is right here. Limited spaces only. I will be taking calls for the next 3 days. I got some slots open there to see if you're a possible fit to start supercharging your business right now. Getting the clarity you need, working on the energy and tension you need, working on the mindset shifts that you need. We're going into some high level shifts, and then the sales and marketing that you're going to need required to grow in this business. So whether you're new and you need that help to start scaling and getting better, or you're someone doing 10 loans a month and you want to supercharge it and go to 20 loans a month while reducing your hours and living your life, I've helped all of those in between. So love to have you schedule if you are truly coachable and you're truly someone that wants to grow now.